So when we have written the batch class, what is the anyway, have you completed the trailhead for batch apex?
Yes. Hi, sir.
So in that part, at least I believe you have got the basic idea, like how to write a batch class and how to write the test class of that batch class, right?
Yes.
So here it is from the trail itself. Like here it is creating a list of account, list of contact, and then within for loop, they are just adding those accounts. Okay. And within for loop, they are adding the contacts as well. So this is the preliminary part of batch class. So why we have to create multiple records? Because batch always works on it is expected that the number of records would be more than one, and obviously it would be something like around 200 to 2000 records we should be creating to test the batch class. But it is always difficult to do that using for loop, right? So in that scenario, how we can like what is the way to handle that part? So initially, when you write the test class, first you will write this in this way, like create the for create those records within your using the for loop. At least you will create 10, 20 records there, 50 around. That will also not create any issue, I believe. But beyond that, if you have to actually test your batch class, you have to do something else. That is using CSV in static resource. So, how you can load your test data? So, this is the way you can create one CSV of your data, like a kind of a data file, which we generally upload using Workbench. You have to create that CSV only. You don't have to use Workbench. Now, once that CSV is created, upload that in static resource. Go to your setup, quick find, put static resource. There you can upload that static resource. Okay. And use that text CSV. Okay. And then once that is done, you can just load that data like this. So you have to provide the subject type, which subject type you were putting there. And now this is the way, like you can just load it. Once it is loaded, like you can see here, account is created from CSV. And once that is created, at that time, you call your batch class. Okay. Call your batch class how you have called that in your test class previously. Do the same thing here. Do the same thing after loading this data. So this is the best practice. Okay. So first you have to check this, and then the next step is following the best practice. You should be doing this part so that you can just execute. You can just execute your batch, like the test class. using some a bulk of data. You can create bulk of data using your CSV, like 100 or 200 records. It is easy to create from CSV rather than going through that individual records, right? So that is the first step. So just look into your test class. So the batch class first and create the test class. What you need to do, like if your batch class is on account, you have to the create a list of accounts, and if it is depending on specific field value, that if this field value is this, then it will work accordingly. Then what you have to do, you have to put values for those fields specifically. Okay, and once that is done, then you can execute that test class and check the coverage. So just try one. You have written one batch class, I believe. There was a simple batch class you have written initially, something updating account or contact.
Yes, sir.
So write that test class first. Let's create that test class. I have already given the link. So from the link, from the trailhead itself, you can create the test class. So let's create that test class first. Then we will check how we can do that using CSV, or you can just try that out uh, in next week, and uh, coming in the next class I can check if you have done that properly or if you are facing any issue. But just write a simple test class for, without using CSV and static resource. Just write a test class of your batch class, what you have done in your project previously. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Have we checked the scheduling in our last class, how we can schedule the batch class?
No, sir.
Okay, then we, after test class we will look into that. Then we will look into future method and queuable jobs. Hello, have you completed?
Sir,
No,
I
sir.
have written, but it is not getting saved. It is saying like saving for the last 2 minutes. I don't know why. Can I share my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Is it visible, sir?
Yep.
Okay. 1 second. So you can see it is like saying saving till now. So this is my batch class, the previous one that we have written in the last. Uh, this is the
If
one.
it is silver, then you will do something on contact. Okay, very good. Go back to your test class.
Just a little change I think I need. I'm trying to do here with count. Let me change this one.
You have
And
only put the setup. You can only create only one account. You don't even you don't need account. It is only on contact, I believe.
yeah, I'm changing that.
So first create a single contact.
Okay.
With test setup, you can do that, or you can directly put that in your test method as well to create that contact. Just create a single contact, and then
Okay. So should I
you
remove this
put that
part?
setup. No issue with that. No issue with that. Just create only one contact and put the label as silver.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
So I'm putting it here.
Why you are putting that within for loop? You don't need that for loop anymore.
It's the for loop. Okay.
Last name of the contact is mandatory, so you have to put the last name at least.
Yes, sir. So I can put it here as well, like, or should I do the
Yeah,
like?
you can put that. You can use that within constructor as well,
Hmm.
or just keep that simple. Put that separately for now.
Yes.
How you are putting using dot?
Yeah, yeah.
Do that. New con dot last name.
Uh,
In should be
oh,
capital.
oh, yes, sir. Is the API name? Yeah. Yes. Uh,
Semicolon.
okay, and the label should be what? Silver,
Whatever
like
you have put, just
I
copy the
have
whole
I
thing.
have to copy this part
Hmm.
with this. Copy this one.
It should be single equal to now. It is not
Yeah.
assignment.
Yes, I'm doing so. Oh wait, the semicolon is not. I think, sir, this page is hanging somehow.
So that means your network is somehow slow today. So
Yes,
that's why
just
it
a second.
is.
So, should I
Now
comment this part out, like, or it should
don't
be?
don't put that on setup. It should be within your test method. If you comment that part, you can
Mm-hmm.
comment it. But this you are putting this within setup, right? So
Yes.
line 5 to line 11 you can comment out.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Line 5 to line 11.
Now you have to put insert Insert new con.
Yes, yes, yes. This is after. Yeah. Normal insert or database dot insert,
No,
like
no, simple
normal
insert
insert.
will work. It is the
Okay.
test method. If there is any error, you can find it out. Fine. Now you have to call your test method. Within your test method, you have to call the batch class. There is one
Like
issue.
the database execute database dot execute batch, right? That part, right?
Before that, what is in
I
line
need
4?
to uh
Missing at the rate.
missing at the rate.
Check the syntax of setup.
I just did copy from here, sir, like this from here.
And ideally, it should not be an issue.
This is kind of a method, so why we need like
That is setup is try to save it.
it's saying like saving. That's why.
That's fine. Just put control S once again.
Okay.
Do one thing. Cut from line 12 to 15.
15.
Cut.
Yes.
Remove this test setup. Remove it. Yeah. Now try to save. No, 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 no. Don't put that right now. Save it.
Yes. Control.
Create a new test class
Okay.
and try from there.
Okay. Just a second. It here.
Only create a test method. You don't need to create the setup.
Okay. Here I should create a test method. Okay.
Go back to your no,
It's
no, not there. The uh, trailhead. Go back to trailhead.
trailhead. Okay.
There you can just say this. Ideally, it should be you have to write test method. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
One minute. So followers calling, not sure why. Just give me 1 minute.
Sir, actually, he's having some internet issues. He has texted me also to tell you.
Oh, he has joined. Follow, we were calling.
Yes, actually, my network started creating some problem,
Okay.
so none of my website were opening.
So I have put in a message like you can just put a test method like this, and within that you can just put your code within those 2 second bracket. Or you can put it as this as well. Like rather than writing a use test, you can put that static test method void, and then you can put your put that is test and static void in same line.
Same line. Okay.
Sometimes it creates issue. Now just save it. Save this class.
Unexpected token in line number 5.
First bracket open close new contact. After
Oh
that,
yeah. I'll open that and remove that. Sorry. Yes, I think it is working now.
for this one, right?
Yeah.
Just close the previous class.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this
Okay. So now I need to create an instance of that batch class and call
right,
it, right?
right.
It should be in that
After insert, you
after
will
in.
do that.
Okay.
No, not yeah. Within that second bracket.
Yes. Okay. So the class name.
You have that code, right? That standard code. Copy it from there. That would be easy one.
Okay. This part. Put it here. And- Sir, I think I don't need this ID dot. This part is needed.
Yeah, yeah. Keep that.
Okay. So
Let me see first. What is missing? Don't put that in second line. Line 10 should be a continuation of line 9.
9, 8, this line should not be here actually. Let me comment it.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Execute it now. Go to logs. The
Yeah.
first, that is fine. No, I was just wondering if there is an issue. I believe it is fine. Now just check the coverage of the original class. The batch class you have to check here.
Yeah, it's 100%.
So it is 100% because it is actually covering everything. Now, rather than one record, you have to create a list of records. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yes,
that you have to do just within a for loop, create
all.
multiple contacts.
Yes.
Just try that one. I'm coming back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Take 5 more minutes. If it is not done, let me know.
Sir, it is done, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir. Done.
Sir, done, sir.
Done for everybody mostly, right?
Yes, probably.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, it is done.
Okay. So let's move into scheduling. Okay. So scheduler is a class which we have to write to schedule a batch class, mostly batch class. Other things can also be done, but primarily batch class. So we are writing one batch class. It will execute in a specific time period, right? Either it would be daily or weekly, monthly. We can make that yearly as well. There are two different parts. One part is once you write that scheduler class, from that scheduler class, you will call your batch class. Okay. And that scheduler class, you can schedule the scheduler class. So once you schedule that scheduler class, that can be done in two ways. One is from UI, one is from code. Like you can just create one scheduler class and you can schedule it, and you can see that in Apex job, schedule jobs. So that is one part. Other part is you can write a code to execute that. By executing that code, you can just schedule your scheduler class. Let me show you how a scheduler looks like. So whenever we are writing any scheduler class, it will be something like the name of the class and then implements schedulable. So implement schedulable means it will actually like that class can be scheduled. Okay, there would be one execute method, and within that execute method, here at this place, you have to write your batch execution, like the code to execute your batch class. That's what you have to do from here. Okay, so it is a very simple thing. Just write a scheduler of your own for your batch class with this code, and just do that. Like first, let's create this scheduler, then I will tell you how or what we can do. Just write this scheduler. Created the scheduler class.
Sir, it is
Yes.
saying the March number is invalid type.
Merge number should not be there. It should be your batch class. In that line,
Okay,
you
okay,
have
okay.
to put your code to execute your batch class.
So like the class batch class I have written previously on the contact metal update, that name I have to give, and now it is saved.
Exactly.
Okay, okay.
That's what you have.
So we are making that class schedulable only.
Exactly.
Okay.
So whoever has completed that, share your screen.
Sir, I am sharing my screen.
Yep.
So this is my class name, the batch class.
That is the instance you have created. Now you have to execute that batch class.
Okay. So in the anonymous window
Database dot
after.
execute batch. Exactly what you write in anonymous window, that you will write here.
Okay.
Whether you are writing that in anonymous window or anywhere else, it is the code to execute your batch, right?
Yes.
So wherever you have to put that execution, like you have to execute your batch, you have to mention the same code. It is the
Yes.
same syntax you would be using.
Yes. So I've written the database dot execute syntax.
Great. Now let's go back to setup.
Okay. To setup. This is setup.
Go to Apex class.
Yes.
Here you have that schedule Apex button, right?
Schedule apex button.
The right one. Run all
Yes. Yes.
tails.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
click on that. So first you have to put a name. Just put a name of that
Any
job.
name.
Any name, whatever name you want to give.
And here I have to find the batch class.
No, you have to find the scheduler class
Schedule class.
Scheduler class. Okay. Like
for
this
the next
schedule March. This one.
one. Right.
Okay.
Sir, here the schedulable keyword is because we are putting the schedulable keyword on that class. That's why it is coming here, right?
Yes, ideally that is the thing. Now, do you want to execute it weekly or monthly?
Okay.
Now, if it is weekly and you want to execute for all the days of your week, then you have to check all the days,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
And put all the days for now. And put the end date one. That is fine. 11 till 11. That is fine. Preferred start time. Put that preferred start time as 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. something like that. Mostly we execute that at midnight. Okay.
Okay. 1 in.
Now save it.
Okay.
Now go back to your in setup. Put schedule. Just write schedule.
Jobs.
Schedule jobs. Look that whatever you have written, that is scheduled now.
Okay. My schedule job on contact. Okay.
That's what you have created, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now delete it
Mhm.
because you cannot schedule one job multiple times. That's why I'm telling to now do one thing.
Sir, in the batch class that we have written, in the batch class itself, we can schedule that batch class, right?
That is also possible. I am not going to tell that how you are going to do this. You will do that of your own, and next day we will discuss that.
Okay.
Now I have given one code to you. Okay.
This one.
Right. Here, that remind opportunity owners reminder, there you will create the object of your scheduler class.
Okay.
Okay. And at the last line where system.schedule, there
Yes.
in place of reminder, whatever, like if you keep that object name as reminder, you can keep that reminder, but specifically follow this format of string SCH, that is 20, 30, 8, 10, 2 question mark. What is that?
Okay.
Second, minute, hours. 20-second, 30-minute, hours means 8, and it is in 24 hours format. So at 8:30 from 20 seconds, and then your month of day. Okay. Sorry,
Okay.
day of month, then month of then the month, and day of week. That is optional. So these are the values you can specify here
Okay.
in that string and execute this. Now the thing is that you have already we have the option to schedule that from UI, right? From user interface, you can schedule your batch. Sorry,
Yes.
schedule your scheduler class. But if you have to, if you have to schedule that in say from 6:30 or 6:10, if this is something like this odd hours, you cannot put that, you cannot schedule it from that UI.
Yes, because in the UI we are seeing that only like
Right,
1 hour gap each, 1 p.m.,
right,
2 p.m., etc.
right. Also, if you have to do that yearly, like say there are few jobs you have to execute on yearly basis, like say end of the year you have to execute. That you cannot do from that UI. For that, you have to come back to this thing. Let me share my screen for a minute.
So, just explain this our format once more.
I am just explaining that. For that, I just want to I need to share my screen.
Yes, yes, yes. No, no problems.
So this hour, minute, second, whatever you are seeing there, this is the expression. So minute can be 0 to 59. Okay. Hour can be 0 to 23. Days of month can be 1 to 31. Right? Month can be 1 to 12. Like which month you want to execute this. Okay. And days of week, it can be 1 to 7. You can put that in string as well. And this is the year is optional. Now, what special characters we can use here, that you can say this. Say at 10 a.m. every day. If that is the syntax you need, you can put it like this. If you need to execute 5:15 p.m. every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, a whole week actually, except Saturday and Sunday, you can put it like this. If you have to execute in every 30 minutes, of that batch, you can do that like this. Also, question mark is no value, star is all value, L is last. So with this chart, you can actually understand what does that mean by this string which you were creating. Right? Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So your first character, first what you are putting, that is the minute, then the hours, then day of month, then month, which month you want to execute, day of week, and optionally year. Year means you can just put it will execute only for 1 year. If you don't want to mention that, then it will continue.
Like a specific year, like
Yes,
1999 or like.
1999. Right, 1999, it will not work because that is the old year. But
Yeah.
if you put that 2022, then only this thing will execute only for this year. Okay, so I believe I have shared this one already with you. Otherwise, just save it and look into this. I just want you have to build one string which will execute 1st April of every year. Okay, at uh, 1 a.m. At 1 a.m., your batch should execute this string you have to build, so that your batch should execute 1 a.m. at night every year, 1st April only. Okay, so that would be the yearly execution of the batch. You have to build this string. This is one of your homework. Fine?
Okay.
Clear, everybody?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So look into this chart and build your string. That
The
is
month is April, like 1 a.m. midnight of April.
1st April.
1st April.
1st April only. So that is one of your homework. Except that I have given the uh, trailhead for batch apex and future class. Batch apex you have completed, I believe. Schedule job I have given to you. If not, I am giving you right away. This is schedule job. You have to complete this one as well next day. Okay. Then we can go to future method and queuable class. For queuable also I have given that probably. If not, you can just search it. Like first, let's look into future method. Where is the trailhead? Anyway, let's look into developer guide. So we have started with batch class, but what is the difference between a batch class and a normal Apex class? What is the difference? First difference is that am I audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So the first thing is that previously whatever we have written the Apex code that was synchronous. Now what we are writing that is asynchronous. So what is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous? Synchronous means whenever the operation is happening, like Apex class you can use from your flow, you can use that at the background of any LWC code or VF page or anywhere else from where that method can be called. Okay. Whatever method you have written in your Apex class that can be called. Now, the scenario is whenever you have there should be some operation, right, by which that will be called, like in flow. If it is a record triggered flow, then any update in or any change in that record that will trigger that. Same way, if it is with say with any LWC component and your method is called whenever there is any operation like any button click or something like that, at that time your method will get called. You are getting my point?
No,
Like
sir. Can
whenever
you?
I am clicking on the button or I am doing any operation, at that time only it is executing, it is getting executed then and there is no delay, right?
Yes, sir. Okay.
But this batch apex, think about this batch apex, that when this apex will execute, it will execute in future, like whenever you are scheduling it or you are calling it. So it is not something like it is executing then and there. So that means this is not synchronous. What does it mean by synchronous and asynchronous? Synchronous means like say you are doing something, some work, and the consecutive things are happening at the same time. Like if you are throwing a stone in a pond, you will see the ripple effect in the water, and that is happening then and there. Whenever you are throwing that stone, immediately you can see that ripple effect. So that is the synchronous process, right? That is happening right then and there. But say you have uh, you are trying to catch a bird and you have set a trap. and you have gone from there, and when you are not there at that time, that bird will come, hopefully. And if you can catch that bird with your trap, so that means you have set up that trap, you have done everything, and you have gone. So it is not happening then and there. So that is an asynchronous process. Like, your current work and the effect of the work is not happening at the same time. It is not happening synchronously. So you are getting the meaning of these two words. What is synchronous and what is asynchronous? What is not synchronous? So previously, whatever classes we have written, that those were synchronous. Those Apex code were synchronous code. Now what you are writing, what you are learning to write, that is asynchronous. That means you are writing it right now, but it will execute in future, when you might be able to determine that, or you might not be able to determine that. Okay, for batch class you can determine like when that should execute. With your scheduler you can mention like this time it should execute, but still that is in future. That is not happening right now. We have scheduled it right now, and it will execute after some time, say 5 minutes, 30 minutes, after 1 month, after 1 week, whatever it is, depending upon your scheduling time, right? So that is one of the future or asynchronous way of writing code. Like, you can write this code and that will execute asynchronously. Okay. And what the other way of doing that? Other way of writing asynchronous code is creating future method. You can create future method. You can create queuable class. So what is future method? So there are different uh, scenario when you might have to execute your code in a um, in a time when all the resources are available. Resources means, say you have to use something, like you are trying to execute uh, update on account. Okay, you are trying to update account, and once your account is updated, after that you will write something, like something should execute after that. And when you are actually, you have the idea of row locking till now? No, right? So when you are doing any DML in any object, at that time, on the record whatever you were working on, that record is locked. Why this is happening? Because, say in one org, you are trying to update account, I am also trying to update that account. So it must not clash, right? When you are trying to update, if you have started your execution first, so there would be a row lock till your transaction is getting end. Until and unless your transaction is complete, I should not be allowed to execute my code, or I should not be allowed to do my DML in between, because that will hamper that process. Are you getting my point?
So,
Yes, sir.
sir, is it like that when the resources are available, then only we are allowing something to happen, right?
Exactly. Exactly. That is the thing for future method.
Mhm.
So if I am trying to do that, and if that is a scenario, in that scenario, I should use that future method. Like, two operations are going to happen on one record. So first operation when that is happening, at that time the record will be locked, and once that record is unlocked, then only I should execute my next operation. This is only theoretical what I am saying you right now. So in that scenario I should use future method. That means future method will wait till the row lock is removed, the row lock is gone. Till that time it will wait. Okay. So but in synchronous apex, if I try to do that at the same time, that first DML will execute, and say I have written the second DML as well, and it will try to execute when that first DML is happening and that row lock is in place, it will throw you an error. Simply it will throw you an error that this row is locked. So that is a kind of row lock error we might see when big transactions are happening, like when a big batch class execution is happening. At that time, if somebody is trying to update the same record, they can see that that row lock issue. Now, uh, say there are other scenarios. Say there is one integration scenario that you are trying to fetch record from a different system. Say there is a SAP system from where uh, you have to connect that SAP system, and uh, primarily when you are just executing that method, you need to just give me one sec. Yeah, you need to actually get the connection done first, right? So you are trying to create or yes, you are trying to create a connection between current Salesforce system and the SAP system. There should be some username, password, and link and blah blah. With those things, you have to connect that, and then you have to call the methods of SAP system to get that record into Salesforce. Now, there are multiple things associated with this. First thing is that whether, like, when you have created this, first thing is that whether your connection is well established or not. Second thing is that the method you are about to call, whether that method is up and running or not. So these things are actually coming into, it will come into place when you are trying to access that method. But the thing is that whenever we are trying to do this, it might not happen synchronously. Like there might be a delay between my call out and when the other things should be working. Like it might take some time to establish that connection. It might take some time to execute that method. All these things might take some time, and those are very small times actually, but in terms of execution, that is significant. So in that scenario, in this kind of integration scenario, we try to do that using future methods, so that whenever my resources are like available, all the connection is made, I have got that data, and I have to do something after getting that data, that thing can be handled from future. Like uh, one future method can, like future method has few limitations as well, but once you execute that future method, whatever data you are getting after that from that future method, that will work at the background. You don't need to specifically, these things are actually called long running operations. So this kind of long running operation that can work at the background and you can do your other job at that time. So to facilitate this kind of things, future method came into place. And future method has specifications, and there are some um, background issue, I would say. This is void.
Sir, we can't use any S object as an argument in the future methods, right?
Right. The thing
This
is
is
that
kind of the issue, right?
we can only handle primitive data types in
Yeah.
future method. Just give me 1 minute. So that is the primary issue with future method. Okay. In which scenario we use future method? You can see this in this article. Like you can just look into this also, how you can uh, test your future method. You don't need to use future method right now, but it wi- you will need this. You will need this in some time. Just save this URL somewhere, okay? Because this is going to, you will need this. Like future method, there is another thing which is called queuable. Okay, so there are few similarities with future method, but there are few advantages of queuable. Like future methods are getting queued, but you cannot get that ID and you cannot track that. Like you have put that future method, whether or when that has executed, how that has executed, all these things, you cannot get those details. But with queuable, you can do that. Also, using non-primitive types, that is possible from queuable, right? That is possible. And third thing is chaining jobs. Chaining jobs is something you have already learned from batch job. I have told you, like you have two batch jobs. First batch job, you need to execute batch 2 once batch 1 is completed. So how we can do that? In the finish of first batch, we can just put the calling statement of second batch, right? If we do that, in that scenario, what will happen? First job execution will be completed. Once it is executing finish after the execute method, it will actually call the second batch. And once it like when it is called, second batch is called, that will execute then and there, like only after completion of first job. So that means that is a kind of chaining we were doing uh, of batch classes. The same kind of thing, like chaining of methods, can be done using queuable. So again, this is simple, like how we can create queuable methods, queuable class, and this is the test class, how we can write a test class of queuable, and this is chaining of jobs. This is also possible, like from one class we can just execute the. So just go through this. Future method, I have already told you. This one, just go through this. Take 5 minutes to go through this, and if you have any question, we can address. Right now, you don't have to. You do not have to write future or queuable right now, but you need to learn this. You have to keep the, like, you have to understand the concept that is required. So first you do that, and then like probably from next class we will start apex trigger. Okay, how we can write apex trigger and all. Before that, you just need to complete these things, the trailheads I have given you, and this future method and queuable. So now just go through this queuable one and let me know if you have any question.
Okay. Hello. Sir, I have one question.
Yep.
Is like this queuable apex is it's only contain the non-primitive data type, right?
Not queuable can have primitive and non-primitive both, I believe.
Okay.
Let me check that once. It can contain primitive and non-primitive both.
Okay.
Future method can contain only uh, primitive ones.
Okay, sir. And this queuable content is mandatory, right? It's queuable.
Yes, yes, for queuable. Anyone else, guys? Any question?
Nothing for my side, sir.
Okay, so let me stop the recording now.